Good morning, Tuesday morning, Garden of England. Second day of our goal setting process. I trust that you got on with yesterday's and of course if you haven't, then it's easy enough to catch up. What is important though with all of this process, of course, is to trust it, but is to actually do it. It's not an intellectual exercise of just listening to what I'm saying and kind of thinking it through as I do it. A big part of it is actually taking your notebook, writing down, and indeed journaling. I strongly recommend pencil, so it's worth yesterday I recommended the blank page rather than line, but line's okay of course, pen's okay. I just like the pencil because I feel something happens when you scrape the lead across the paper. There's a kind of contract, and I think what's happening here is that we're preparing probably the most important contract you'll ever sign in your life, which is by the end of this 4-week process and dogs barking, you're going to absolutely know what you want to do for the rest of your life. You're going to have clarity, you're going to have uncovered goals that you can absolutely commit to, and you know, if you've been with me before, you have all the tools and techniques to make sure that you do manifest those outcomes, that you take action with confidence. And if you've never been with me before, then on the 3rd of January we will launch, all going well, we will launch, it's already been, the film's been made of this new introductory course, which will provide you, if you're an absolute beginner, with everything you need to make sure that what you uncover through this process, you will go on and bring into your life. And I'm saying that constantly. With 35 years experience of teaching these techniques, we know that they only work, and they will without doubt work for you, but you've got to do the process, you've got to come and do it. And even today, to do what we're going to do today, this morning. Now, one of the things I want you to also understand is, I keep saying this, if you've been with me before, don't assume that the people you know who are passionate about MindStore, who have been big in MindStore, who you see their names showing up occasionally in comments on the Facebook pages or whatever, don't assume they're getting this, because it's a chance thing, isn't it, whether it will show up in the stream or not. So let them know, you know, and when you go on YouTube to watch it, like you must be doing right now, please do what everybody else asks you to do. Do subscribe, do like, do comment, because that will help people find it. Especially the MindStore people have no idea we're doing this, no idea I've been doing these morning walks for the last months, you know. They don't know, but they would love to know. And here's one of the big points that I think is important. If you had the privilege of watching Kathleen's interview, number 3, and I just want you to think about this. If she hadn't on Facebook saw some kind of link that I would have put out late October into November, she wouldn't have showed up at that event I did in Glasgow in November last year, that evening. And she would, if she hadn't shown up, she wouldn't have heard about the carnivore thing. It's probably unlikely it would have come into her mind. And yet, look what happened as a result. So you don't know who's going to be powerfully affected by you getting out your comfort zone to share this, but let's get on with it. So let's continue to spoke number 4, which is personal development. Which is, and of course, by watching this and following me, of course, we're engaged in a personal development process, and the MindStore personal development program works. You know it works. So you're scoring high just now, but what are you normally scoring? Are you the kind of person that does continue to grow? Do you search out to grow? Do you search out to push yourself further along? One of the most exciting things that's happened just this past week is those of us who want to do the Sean O'Mara Protocol project, and through the collaboration, one of the members is Eamon, who's on that second interview in the Mindshare series. He's in his 80s, for goodness sake. And if he wants to live to 100 and do the MindStore Centurion thing, then you know what? It's 20 years away for him. But if he thinks back to the previous 20 years and what he's achieved, you think back to the previous 20 years and what you've achieved, that's all ahead of him. So goal setting, using the tools and techniques, is where it's at. So ask yourself, what about your whole experience of learning? Continue to learn. Give yourself a score of 1 to 10, but before you do, think about what are the 3 dangers that exist if you don't continue to learn and grow, and what are the 3 opportunities that really excite you that you could actually engage in, like if you like aiming, getting involved in the collaboration. What could you do? What will you do? Now move on to the next one, which is your career. Now, career is absolutely massive, and it begins in school. So if you're at school and you're watching this, and some of you might be, then that's where your career is just now. If you're well into a career, you've changed careers, you've jobs, or you're like some people in the so-called retirement ages, never retire, in the sense that always have something where you're going to expand and grow, like obviously through personal development, but actually committing to doing things. What are the top 3 dangers that currently exist for you and how you're experiencing career? So write them down, journal on why they're important to you, and do the same with the top 3 opportunities that could exist out there, that do exist out there. If you get your act together, what could you do with your career? What are the top 3 possibilities that are exciting you about looking into the future with career? And then you do all that work, you do a little bit of why they're important, you do some journaling, then you can give yourself a score on the wheel of life. How are you scoring right now for career? And then now coming down to the 6th one, which is your attitudes. Your attitudes. So how is your attitude? Are you positive? Are you negative? Do you get up in the morning and think about what you want? Do you get up in the morning and think about what you don't want? What are the top 3 dangers that are out there if you don't begin to manage your attitudes? And what are the 3 opportunities if you manage your attitudes that will fundamentally make a difference to your life going forward? Give yourself a score for your attitudes by working through that process. And you're getting ready now, getting into the process, the goal setting process that absolutely works. I'll see you, Ramora. Bye now.